Welcome to Soul, Light, and Body. Today is such a beautiful day, and I hope that you continue to do your journaling. You're finding that time to give gratitude, and you are appreciating the things that are around you. If you're not, it's time to really detox. It's time to get rid of the things that you don't really like in your life. It's time to sit back, go within, see what's happening, and try to let those things go, because many times the things that we are really holding on to is holding us back. So we really need to revisit and see if these are the things we really want in our lives, and if these are the things we're going to take with us into the future. If not, we need to start to shed them away. Your thoughts, are you checking in with your thoughts? Are those thoughts serving you, or it's holding you back? It's time to check in with those thoughts. How are you living your daily life? How is your diet? Today we got such a beautiful topic. Plants save my life. And Kelley is here once again to soul, light, and body, and he will help us to understand more in depth, because his book is out on Amazon, where you could get it to purchase for $1, the Kindle version. And he will help us to understand in depth how plants save his life, so we could start to incorporate some of those tools in our life and to help us to move forward with a healthy lifestyle. You could ask him questions in the comments, and he will respond to your questions. If you have concerns about your health, how you can transition from eating meat and go into the plant-based diet, he is here to answer all those questions for you, because many times we tell ourselves, we tried this diet, it didn't work. We tried the other diet and it didn't work. What's up with this diet? He will explain to us about diets, how it works, if it doesn't work. He will explain everything to us this evening. So we just want to welcome back Kelley to the show. And he's going to deliver this evening for us about plants and how it could really help us to move forward with our diet and how we could change our lifestyle. I'm Karen Pascal, holistic health and wellness coach, and a co-author of two ebooks with my sister Joan Williams, also our digital magazine and our hard copy magazine. And if you haven't signed up yet, the link is in the comments below. You could sign up, and it's all free. And it got some good stuff inside. So I'll now hand the mic over to Miss Joan Williams. Joan?
Thank you, Karen. Great intro as always.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing tonight? Happy Friday. How has your week been?
Sure.
Were you able to set those intentions that you set out on Monday or Sunday evening, and were able to work on something that you feel satisfied at this moment at the end of at the conclusion of the week? But you know what? Don't be hard on yourself. Are you loving yourself? Are you showing yourself compassion and love and reminding yourself that you are special, you are important, you are unique, and you're one of a kind? Are you able to refer, make that affirmation to yourself and know that you are special? Yes, you're doing the best you can, but you're always striving every day for something more and something better, for the better version of yourself, to live that out. What are you doing about moving forward in the future? How are you re examining and reviewing your goals on a daily basis and working towards that so that you can make that achievement? Because I'm sure you're not satisfied where you are. But in order to move forward, you got to set your intentions, and you got to move with a level of confidence. Reaffirm yourself of who you are and constantly reminding yourself who you are? And are you able to remove the clutter from your life, as Karen mentioned earlier, things that are hindering you, whether it's within your mind space or within your environment? How is your environment? Are you able to work in a space that is freedom and that you love what you're dwelling in? I mean, those some of the questions we always have to ask ourselves. Because in order for us to live our best and be our true essential selves, we have to move on the level of alignment. Because when we move in a level of alignment, then we can able to set ourselves to receive all the goodies. I don't know what your level of spirituality might have been, but to receive all the goodness that life has got for us. God, source, universe, whatever it is that we can able to draw, we can able to attract and draw those things to ourselves, that we can live out our true potential and we can walk with grace. And you know what? Also, we can walk in our greatness. So, tonight, welcome to our show. We thank you for supporting us in everything that we do. And we got a great guest tonight. My name is Joan Williams, holistic health and wellness coach, and also co-author of the TUI books and the magazines and everything. And we're getting great review on the magazine because it's really helping you as like a little piece of addition to your life where you can make healthy choices. So we got a great guest tonight. He was here before returning. And Kelley is going to be here to show us, and as Karen mentioned, we did diving a little deeper of how he has become who he is today and sharing such a great value around the world, creating such a major impact. He's just a great and an amazing guy. I know you said all of our guests when they come on, we say they are amazing. Yes, they are, because they bring value, they bring something special to the space that you can earn, take away great tools that you can apply wherever in your area that is needed. Of course, we always advise you to check with your doctor to make sure that this would fit for you. So, Kelley, welcome and thank you for saying yes to be here.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be back. I'm very excited.
So, talk to us about, give us a little recap or overview for those who had not joined us on the last session, because I was not even here. Talk to us about what got you to the space and give us a little bit rundown.
So the two, yeah, go yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the 2.0 version of me, I just finished writing my first book, and I am a holistic. Thank you very much. I am a holistic health coach and plant-based nutritionist. That is what I do now. But before that, now I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm a gentleman over 40. But before that, I was in the a few years ago. I was in the worst shape of my life. So I went from the worst shape of my life to the best shape of my life by using the power of plant-based nutrition. But I didn't just do that out of anywhere. I did that because of some tragic events that happened in my life. Um, in 2019, my mother passed away suddenly from a heart attack. So she was here one day, gone, boom, gone the next day, right? Literally from a heart attack. And that was what I figured out after my mother passed away. I found out that heart attack was the leading cause of death in the United States. And not only in the United States, but heart attack is the leading cause of death throughout the entire world, right? The number one thing that human beings pass away from, that number one thing that human beings die from is a heart attack, right? Can you wrap your mind around that? And then the main contributor to heart attacks and heart disease is poor diet, right? So heart attack is the number one cause of death, and the number one contributor to that is your diet, right? So if you kind of put that together, so after my mother passed away, it was like the light bulb went off. Well, the light bulb didn't actually go off. My mother actually came to me in a dream and told me that I had the God-given ability to be able to help others heal their body, right? But I had no idea what that meant because I'm obese at the time when she comes to me in this dream. I'm obese. I am pre-diabetes, and I had heart disease, right? So what do I know about healing? I'm obese, right? So what do I know about healing people, right? Which comes to me in this dream. And I didn't realize what that meant until about 2 months, or about a month or two later after that dream, my uncle came to live with us. And when he came to live with us, right here in this room, literally, I was his caretaker. I was his caretaker until the end of his life, right? He passed away from cancer, which is the number 2 cause of death in the United States. Well, probably throughout the world too, but definitely in the United States. So when those tragic events happened and when he passed away, boom, that dream all of a sudden, it made sense. So it made sense that first I needed to go on a mission to first heal my own body, right? Once I heal my own body, then my mission now is to be able to help other people heal their body naturally through the power of these plants, right? So the more and more research I did, the more and more I kept getting pointing back to the food. Well, what is it about the food? I wanted to know why my mother passed away. I wanted to know what a heart attack was. I wanted to know what cancer was, right? I wanted to know what they were because I wanted to have an up close and personal conversation with cancer and heart attack. So the more and more research I did, the more and more I kept getting pointed back to the food. But what was it about the food? Is it too? I don't know. What was it about the food? So I kept digging deeper and deeper and deeper, and then I found out that it is the fuel source that we run on. Right, human beings run on 90% of that is diesel fuel. Right, the majority of our diet is all processed foods and the wrong fuel source, ultra processed foods and animal products, which is the wrong fuel source for the human body. Right, so human beings are designed to run on plants. So I was addicted to double cheeseburgers, extra pickles, small fries, gummy worms, steaks, pork chops. Every Friday I go get a pork chop, right? Huge pork chops. That's why I was obese. Right? My weight was out of control. That's why I was getting ready to knock on death's door. Right? The doctor told me, like, listen, you have a condition known as angina, which is basically a precursor to a heart attack. Like any day you could have a heart attack. Right. So I felt like I was about to have a heart attack too. So basically, that is why the book is called Plants Save My Life. Because I literally went on a mission to find out, first to be my own best patient. And then after that, my mission and my goal in life is to be able to help others realize that they do not have to suffer anymore. Right. All you have to do is look within inside of yourself and change your belief system and look at things from a different aspect. That's what I had to do. I had to totally reinvent myself to transform my health. I had to totally reinvent myself to go from what was I before to what am I now. Right. So I had to do a total transformation. My whole mindset had to change. I had to challenge my beliefs. Like what do I believe in? What are my limiting beliefs? What are my limiting beliefs? I have to challenge myself. Everybody has limiting beliefs. Everybody. I don't care who you are. We all have limiting beliefs. But the question is, are you willing to challenge those beliefs? Are you willing to challenge my beliefs? Because again, I told you, I wasn't planning on giving up my cheeseburgers. I wasn't planning on giving up my gummy worms. I wasn't planning on giving up all of my pork chops, right? But I had to challenge my beliefs because my mother had just passed away, right? So that was my why. I realized that I had to go on this mission. So that's where we're at today. So that is why the book is called Plant Save My Life. And that is why I'm on this show. And then that is why I'm on every show, is to tell this message that you can heal your body naturally. Your loved ones do not have to leave this earth without, because you don't want to change what's at the end of your fork. So that's my message.
Wow. Kelley, thank you so much for saying yes. And first of all, we don't know how long you lost your loved ones, your mom and your uncle. But sorry for your loss. But your loss, you gained something because you were able to look at yourself as an individual, as a human being, and said, no, you have made a definitive decision that I don't want to be like that. There is something else other than that I could change my lifestyle. As you talk about your mindset, your limited belief, and you can recreate your own reality. And this is a great testament to you of who you are and what you're doing to save the world, to change lives. Thank you. Karen?
Thank you very much.
Yes, the last time that Kelley was on the show, he gave us a lot of tools that we could incorporate in our lives. And we could make this small step and see changes happening. Because many times we tell ourselves, oh, this is a difficult task. But if you want to see changes in your life, you have to be willing to take that first step to see changes in your life. If you see it as though it's a huge task, you're only holding yourself back from that change. All we need to do is just to make that one step.
Mhm.
Make that one step. And once you could make that one step, you will start to see the results. And Kelley is a living example of the results of making that one step forward to better health. Now he write a book that now we could read and really understand his baby steps to success to better health. Kelley, can you elaborate a little bit more? How can someone looking at this show and they're telling themselves, you know what, Kelley did this, but how can I really start to make this step forward with my life? How can you encourage someone like that? What are some of the words that you would really tell someone?
I would tell someone this. This is what I live philosophies, right? I go by philosophy. So that is, I'm a philosopher too. I don't know if you saw that before. So everything I go back deep into the mind. So that is the idea of a human being. Human being is to have the ability to be able to. That's what human being stands for. It stands for being wise, right? So everything, literally everything, no matter what you do, is going to start with what you think about, right? You're limiting, or whether they're limiting beliefs or whether they're positive beliefs, right? Your body is going to, your mind is going to, there's two, what I figured out is there's two sides of the brain. This is what I would tell someone. There's two sides of the brain. The question is, which side are you going to listen to? Whichever side that you listen to the most, whichever side that you feed the most, whichever side goes into your subconscious the most on a daily basis. If you have limiting beliefs, if you believe that you cannot do that, if you believe that, no, we didn't believe that they say you can't defy gravity, right? You can't defy gravity. Now we're in human beings. Our mind is the most powerful thing in the world, right? We build rockets now to go to other countries. I mean, not countries, other, not even countries, planets, right? We build rockets to go to other planets. We defy gravity. That is the ability of the human mind, right? So if you believe that you can actually heal your body, if you believe that you can do it, then guess what? Your body is going to, your mind is going to, it's what you think about on a daily basis. Whatever you think about most of the time, you literally will become. Whatever you think about most of the time, you literally will become. So I'll teach them this simple philosophy of, this is the philosophy of failure. This is the formula for success. This is the formula for, this is the, any, this is the formula for failure. The formula for failure is this. Uh, no, let's go to success first. The formula for success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. A few simple disciplines practiced every day, right? Discipline is getting up and making yourself a few simple disciplines practiced every day, right? The formula for failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day, right? So if someone is stuck, I'd ask them to go back into a time and ask them, like, listen, when were you at your best? I always ask my clients this. I ask them, like, when were you, like, you know, at your best? Like, yeah, you know, everybody had their best, like back in the day. Like, I was young, I was fly, you know, I was all of this, right? When was that time? Tell me that time. I want them to tell me the story about when they were at their peak, when they're at their prime, right? To where they are. What were you doing back then? What were you doing back then to
Mhm.
say that made you think that, yeah, you were on top? You know what I'm saying? You can't, nobody can tell me anything, right? What were you doing back then? What was it about you? And then you ask yourself, this is where you got to look at yourself. Now you ask yourself, what am I doing now? Now I'm out of shape. Now I'm in the worst shape of my life. Now I got pre-diabetes. Now I got heart disease. Right now I got all this other stuff. Now I got to take all this medication. Right. So the formula for failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. You grab the apple instead of the, you grab the apple and, I'm sorry, you grab the candy bar instead of the apple. Right? It's two sides of the brain. So it's whichever one you feed the most. So that's what I would tell this person. I would ask them like, hey, listen, which side do you want to feed the most? Because you have to want it. You can say that you're like, I want that. But if you really don't want it, you're really not going to do it because the bad side is going to take over. Right? The negative side is going to take over. If you don't have a clear goal, if you don't have a clear understanding of where you want to go, right? I ask people what they want. Like, what is it that you want? Right? Do you want to be obese? Do you want to be overweight? Do you want to die early? Because the number one cause of death is in the world, heart attack. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what you really want? You know what I mean? Especially if their health is out of control. Right? Because it will happen. Like it happened to my loved ones. Right? I got real serious when my mother passed away. Like I said, I had to sit down and have a conversation with. I had a conversation with heart attack. I had a conversation with cancer. So I asked this person, what is their why? What do they really want in life? We'll start there. And it depends on what their answer is. If their answer is, I don't really have any goals, I don't know, I just want to sit down and play video games all day. Like, what do you want to do? Right?
Yeah.
You gotta ask him, what do you want to do? Is that what you want to do? Like, what do you want? If you could, like, if money wasn't even a factor, what would you want to do in your life? We start from there. That's what I would ask this person.
Yeah, and you got to be clear about it. I like what you said. That what do you want? What's your why? What is your reason for being, and how bad do you really want it? You have to answer those questions definitively, honestly, and that is the way your mindset now. You would change who you are and who you want to become as a person. What are your core values? What life means to you? And I like how you mentioned all those questions, because there is where I think what you would agree is where we got to start from. That's our starting point.
That is the starting point.
Yeah.
Starting point is looking in the mirror. If you look in the mirror and you lie to yourself like, oh, I'm great, I'm this, I'm that, I'm in the best shape of my life, but you're obese. If you look in the mirror and say, yeah, then you got to ask yourself, like, when were you at your best? Is that what you want to get back to? You want to get back to your best? Then you got to look in that mirror and find out, like, yeah, I'm out of shape. I'm so bad. This is the worst shape of my life. You got to be honest with yourself. And then once you're honest with yourself, you have a good baseline at that point. You can be like, okay, I can go up, right? So with me, when I transformed my health, I had to look when I got the diagnosis of having heart disease, right, angina. Then guess what? It got real serious for me. And my mother had just passed away from the leading cause of death, which is a heart attack. Basically, I'm getting ready to have one too. So that's why this book is called Plants Saved My Life, because plants literally saved my life. I'm super passionate about plants. I love plants because I probably wouldn't be here, right? Because I was literally, I'm a guy over 40. Guys over 40, African American males, pass away over the age of 40 all the time from a heart attack. So I was on that same track. So I decided at any point in time, anybody can make a decision that I want to be the 2.0 version of me. You can make that decision. I want to be the 2.0 version of me. I want to put all this other stuff to bed. I want to put all this, poor health and all this stuff out of control. I can put that to bed right now. You really sit down and have a conversation with yourself, right? Because there's no person, you can lie to everybody else, but the only person you can lie to everybody. But the only person that you cannot lie to is yourself and your maker. Right? Yeah. You cannot lie to yourself, and you cannot lie to your maker, because your maker knows everything that you're thinking, because the maker made you. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Right.
So people just like, how long has God been here? Because they say God's been here forever. But how can you wrap your mind around forever? Like, what is forever?
What is forever?
What is that? Right? What's forever? You can't go any. This is where the plants come from. The plants come from the Creator. So whoever you believe in,
right?
You can believe in Buddha, you can believe in Allah, you can believe in Jesus, you can believe in the Big Bang Theory, whoever you believe in, doesn't matter. We all have a Creator, right? Mother Nature. So we're gonna call that Mother Nature.
Right.
Mother Nature created us all, right? And if you return back to nature, which these plants come from nature, you heal your body from pretty much anything. Not saying everything, but you will pull your body from, most of the common stuff that people die from.
Yeah.
95%, 90 to 95% of all diseases is preventable. 90 to 95%. Most of it is all man-made stuff.
Right. Kelley, can you tell us? We hear you, we see you, hear everything you talk about and how you have evolved in the space that you're in. But what kept you motivated when the challenges that you embrace on this journey?
So, if you see, probably see, thank you for asking that. If you probably see my slogan down there today, it says, "I'm building a colony of ants." Building a colony of ants. What does that mean? I had to change my mind. My mindset changed. My mindset changed when I'm building a colony. I'm building an ant colony. That's what I'm saying. I'm building an ant colony. So what kept me motivated is my mother came to me in that dream and told me that, listen, this is the reason that everybody has a gift. Everybody has a talent. And then this is your talent. Your talent is to get up, because I was an instructor at the United States Naval Academy when I learned when I was in the military, when I was in the Navy. So I learned how to deliver messages that get straight to the point. Right? In the military, you're talking about things that are life and death. Right? So I had to teach these students, these first-year students in college at the U.S. Naval Academy, how to survive. Right? How to survive when the waters are coming in, when you're in the middle of the ocean and there's nobody else there but you. Right? So now I'm building a colony of ants. And what that means is ants are the most determined. As you can see, my name is One Determined Vegan. Ants are the most determined species on this planet. Any living life form, there's no more, well, there's not one that's more determined than an ant. Right? There's no proverb that says, "Hey sluggard," meaning, "Hey lazy person, hey sluggard, go study the ways of the ants and be wise." Right? That's the old proverb say. "Hey sluggard, hey lazy person, go study the ways of the ant and be wise." Right? So why would you want to be like an ant? Right? Because ants, why are they wise? Ants are wise because they have two goals, and the ants are important. They have determined for a couple of reasons. A, they always know where they're going, and B, they always will never stop until they get there, right? Or die, right? Get there or die. They always know where they want to go, and they know that they will never quit ever, ever, right?
Yeah.
Ever,
Yeah.
ever, right? Until they get there, right? So when I set the goal of I'm gonna go 100% plants, that is my mindset shifted to I'm going 100%. Because that is usually my mind. That is my mindset. I learned that in my 20s. I read a lot of books, a lot of self-help books, a lot of like hundreds of self-help books, right? And they all point back to the same thing. And it's one thing and one thing pretty much only. And it says, go think about it. And if you think about it, and if you put the words and you put that into action, you can accomplish anything. Right? Just go do it. That's what, like you were saying earlier, Karen. You just got to step, right? Yeah, you got to step. Once you step, and guess what? You can keep on stepping. Right? So ants are important for that because they will never give up. If you put a pebble in front of a rock, a pebble in front of an ant, guess what? An ant will try to go to the left. They'll try to go to the right, right? Because they're trying to get to their goal no matter what. They will try to go over. If they can't go to the left, they can't go to the right. Guess what? They'll try to go over the top. If they can't go over the top, then guess what they'll do? They'll try to go. They'll get some other ants. Be like, "Hey, other ants, we're trying to move this. Can you move it? Can you help me move it?" And even if they can't move it by themselves, even if they can't move the rock, they might budge a little bit, but they can't move it. They'll try to go underneath. All right. They'll try to go underneath to dig a hole. And even if they can't dig a hole to get underneath, guess what the next thing they'll do? They will literally try to gnaw their way through that rock. And why they do? They want to get to their goal no matter what. They are that determined. And that is where I started studying ants. I started shifting my whole mindset about challenging my beliefs. Right? That proverb says, "Go study the ways of the ant." So I say, okay, let me go study the ways of the ants and be wise. So that is what human being means. Human being means, the meaning of human being, you can look it up in the dictionary, but the definition of human being is Homo sapien. right? And the definition of Homo sapien is wise man. That is the definition. If you look it up right now, the definition of Homo sapien or human means thinker, right? It says thinker or wise man, person who thinks with great ability. Like I said earlier, we can build rockets to go to the moon, go to other planets, right? Simply because of your mind, right? Your mission focused. You can do anything you want. If you be like those ants, that's why I'm building a colony of ants. Ants will gnaw their way through. If they can't gnaw their way through, guess what? They will die trying.
Yes.
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 They will die trying to reach their goal.
Yes.
Right. And human beings are designed the same way. Like, I don't want you to die, but what I'm saying is, no, I'm not saying that's super extreme, but yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, we totally get it.
Yeah.
And
So that is
so
the mindset that I took. That is what kept me focused. But
that,
ants are important for another reason too. But I'll tell you that that's another thing. Ants always prepare for the winter. They always prepare for the winter. In the summertime, that's what they do.
mm-hmm.
Wow. You know, listening to you, and you have the ant analogy that you're using towards life. It clearly helps us to understand that we can make changes, and if we really make up our mind to do things to change our lives, we can do it. We can find a way how to do it, because many times we make all these excuses not to do it. But if a simple ant, a simple tiny ant, could find that way to make changes and never give up, is to keep going, we can do it. We can find that way to do it. But we just have to be consistent, be disciplined with ourselves, change that mindset, how we are thinking about what we are about to do. And if we want to live a fulfilled life, we have to know that we have to make that change to see the changes happening in our lives.
Yeah, that is so important. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Because um
I can go on about the ant forever. But that's gonna be the name of my new book. My next book is called The Ant and the Grasshopper. That's gonna be the name of it. And it's just a book just about being determined. That's what the book's
Yeah.
about, having
yeah,
self-discipline. My
yeah.
next book.
Yeah.
Congratulations and moving in that level and putting that out in the universe as well. But thanks to outlining and pointing out how determination and drive is important and necessary for all of us, for us to attain our goals, living our true essential self. Those qualities are very, very important. Those factors to help us to attain and live out.
100%. Thank you,
I
Ruby.
really like when we were in the green room and you asked that question, 5 good reasons you deserve better health. And I think we all need to ask ourselves that questions. Those five, write those 5 questions down, because it will really help us to really focus and laser in to our health.
Yeah, it is so
Five
important.
good reasons you deserve better health.
And then the next question is the 5 good reasons why you deserve better health, and give me some reasons as to why you'll never give up, just like the ant.
Yeah.
5 good reasons as to why you deserve better health, and then reasons as to why. You can write down as many as you want as reasons as to why you'll never give up, because the ant doesn't give up. So I'm building a colony of ants. If you want to be a part of this ant colony, you got to be
Contact you.
I'm never going to give up. Right? If you
Yeah,
give up, you can't be a part of the ant colony. You're going to get kicked out of
Sure.
the ant colony.
right, right.
Yes.
Won't be long. Yeah, that is so important because our bodies as a human being is our vehicle that we travel through life with. That's the only thing we've got to be who we are. So we got to take good care of it. And we got to answer these important questions, why we do what we do. And then we made that modification and change things that are not serving us well. We got to pay attention to what we're eating and how we're feeling when we eat what we eat, so that it is necessary for us to be healthy and stay strong, have longevity, and be and live our best. Right?
100%.
To live our best, feel good, wake up in the morning feeling great. But you don't just get to do that by not putting the right thing within our bodies. We have to make those necessary changes.
Absolutely. You got to make, you just keep it basics. You know, everybody makes getting healthy super difficult,
Hmm.
but it's not super difficult. Is if you think like the ant and you know that human beings are supposed to eat mostly plants, right? You're supposed to eat plants because the way that our anatomy is, Mother Nature says, human being, you're based on how your anatomy is, based on how I built your anatomy versus the anatomy of a lion. Your anatomy is totally different. So your body, your digestive systems handles something completely different, right? And there's three species that are on this planet. Three special diets that are on this planet. When I talked about the creator created three special diets. They created an herbivore, which means you eat plants. They created an carnivore, which means you eat other animals, right? You chase them down and you eat them ferociously. And then they also created the omnivore, meaning that you can eat both plants, mostly plants, and the flesh of other animals. The raw flesh, though, raw flesh. You can eat raw flesh of the other animals. These are true omnivores, right? So herbivore, carnivore, omnivore. Those are the three categories, right? And once you can, that's why I said I had to challenge my beliefs. I had to challenge my beliefs in the sense that I like, all these processed foods, and I love it. They taste delicious to my taste buds. But at the end of the day, there's three special diets that was created: herbivore, carnivore, omnivore. That's it. There's nothing else, right? Unless you got, like a microbe. Microbes, they eat all different kind of other microbes and all that kind of stuff. But I can get deep into that, but we don't get deep into that. But for the most part, herbivore, omnivore, carnivore.
Carnivore. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone that want to make a switch to plant-based diet, and they may ask about how am I going to get enough protein? Can you explain that?
I can go. I love the protein question. This is when I was here last time. I went crazy deep into protein, right? But I'll keep it short on this one. Protein, basically, if you want I'm on a whole foods plant-based diet. Human beings, to make it, to not go into it too deep because I can go into it forever. But human beings, based on how fast we grow, then we talked about nature again. Nature perfectly designed this planet. If nature perfectly designed this planet, the protein that are in the species, in the milk of all of these different species, we're talking about, like I said before, herbivore, omnivore, carnivore, right? Those are the three, right? Within nature, those are the three. So the protein that each animal gets in their milk is totally different. The proportion of fats to carbohydrates to protein is totally different than a human being versus a rat versus a snake versus a cow versus a giraffe versus an elephant versus a shark, right? But sharks come from eggs. We're talking about mammals. Let's talk about mammals, right? Mammals meaning that you produce milk to feed your young. And human beings, we have the least amount of protein out of all the animals in all the kingdom, in all the animal kingdom. All this, a lot of animals in this kingdom. You got like some that I just named, giraffes and monkeys and all types of mammals, right? Why is it that human beings have the least amount of protein? It's simply because Mother Nature designed it that way. And I talk about this in the book. Mother Nature designed that way because protein takes 18 years for a human being to become an adult. So that's why we have the least amount of protein. That's a long time to grow. Protein makes things grow. Right. So a tiny rat has 10 times as much protein in its milk than that of a human. Why? A tiny rat, like 2 or 3 pounds, not even a pound, like this big. Right? It has 10 times as much protein in its milk than a human being does. That's why. Why? That is crazy. A tiny mouse has 10 times as much protein in its in its milk than a human? What? No way. Kidding, right? Nah. Yes. So this is nature. We talked about mother. You can't define Mother Nature, and when it comes to what you put into your body, there's no you can't defeat it. Right? 70% of all human beings die from a chronic condition. 70% of us die from a chronic condition. Right? So it's all about everything that you put into your body.
Yeah.
So that's what I would tell someone about protein. I go into it deeper about protein in my book, but you don't have to worry about protein if you're eating a variety of whole plant foods. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and legumes of all shapes, colors, and sizes. Right? That is what human beings are designed to eat based on our anatomy. Flat teeth.
Yeah.
Long digestive system. A little bit of protein in our milk because milk makes things grow. Right? So that's what I would tell someone about protein.
And someone is on a particular diet, and they're not really seeing the changes that they really want, and they hop off from that diet and hop on to another diet. What advice could you give to that individual?
Yo-yo dieting. So yo-yo dieting is just like a yeah, yo-yo dieting. That's when you go from one place to another. So what happens when you go from one diet to the next diet? You may lose some weight, gain some weight. You yo-yo diet. Your weight goes up, your weight goes down. You know, you're yo-yo dieting over years. You might be 120 one time, then you're 140, then you're 150. You know, so I would tell someone that yo-yo dieting is not a good thing. Going from one to another, right? Think about what the ant does. You got to find out what's real. You got to find out. That's what they say. You got to have to challenge your beliefs. I had to challenge my beliefs. If you'd asked me a few years ago about switching to plants, I would have told you, like, you're crazy, man. Like, I'm not giving up my double cheeseburgers, extra pickles, small fries. You know, this is from McDonald's. You know, I was murdering the dollar menu. Right. My old self, a few years ago. This is why I was getting ready to have a heart attack. So I was reaping what I sowed. So over the years, I sowed a lot of poor health, a lot of just, we'll talk about the grass. So the grasshopper is the opposite of the ant. So I was being a grasshopper my entire life until my mother passed away. And then I realized that, and then I went to the doctor and said, you get ready to have a heart attack. And I realized that I've been a grasshopper my entire life. It's time to switch that up and learn out the truth. So that's why I started getting deep into these books. It could be, somebody could tell you this, somebody could tell you that. But the question is, what is your philosophy? What do you believe? I believe in these plants. So you got to find out what works for you, and you got to stick to something, and you got to forget about all the nonsense, because somebody will tell you this, somebody will tell you that. The doctor may tell you this, another doctor may tell you that. You're going to go get a second opinion. You know, this commercial may say, go take this medication. This commercial may say, go take that medication. Right? This commercial may say, eat this double cheeseburger. This commercial may say, eat these Cheez-Its. Right? All right, it's marketing. It's one hell of a thing. It's a chapter in my book called "Marketing is One Hell of a Thing." Right? That's a chapter. It's literally the name of the chapter. Because marketing is one hell of a thing. This is what they do.
Right.
So you got to find out the truth, and the truth is, there's herbivore, omnivore,
and carnivore.
That's it. That's who you listen to what Mother Nature says. You want to go back and forth like yo-yo diet between all the different diets? Okay, well, what does Mother Nature say? That Mother Nature trumps all of whatever a doctor says. A doctor could say this, a doctor could say that. Who cares? He or she is not Mother Nature, your creator. There is nothing in this world that works how something works naturally. Like you can't synthetically put something together versus how it works naturally. There's no beating how something works naturally. So naturally, human beings are designed to eat plants based on our anatomy, based on it being herbivore, omnivore, carnivore. Right? You're gonna fall in one of those three categories. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. Once you learn that processed food, all the processed food that is man-made foods, and then when you put it into your body has absolutely zero idea what to do with some name that people just made up when they put it into food to make it taste delicious. They want it to taste delicious. That's why marketing is one hell of a thing. They want it to taste delicious so you can buy more of it. because that is why I used to go get double cheeseburgers all the time, because of how I hear a commercial and like, hey, the 99-cent menu or the dollar menu, I'm over there. Right? I'm at the drive-through. Like, give me that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give me those extra pickles.
Yeah, give me extra pickles. Now. Right? Couldn't even barely get out the driveway. I'm like, dude, get out of the way in front of me. Get out of the way so I can eat this cheeseburger. Right? That was me. So I understand that. So when I wrote the book, I wrote the book for myself. I just keep it in simple terms and philosophies. My book there's a lot of philosophies and analogies in there. I just keep it in simple terms that if I was talking to myself, basically I had a conversation with myself. Like, what book would you need to read to be able to understand how to heal your body?
Right.
Forget about all the nonsense. Like I said, I was in the military. And we learned how to teach. We learned how to instruct. We learned how to take messages that were super complicated and make something so simple and digestible so it can save your life. Right? Because in the military, things are about life and death. Right?
Yeah.
Shooting at you, right? There's people trying to sink your ship. Right? They're playing for keeps out there. It's real out there, right? In the military, I'm telling you, they're taking your name, they taking you out. That's you know what I mean? So we have to learn how to teach messages.
Somebody is saying, I wish there was a cheeseburger plant.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's because it tastes delicious. It's your body. You love it. You love a cheeseburger. Your taste buds love it, but your body absolutely hates it.
Yeah.
It's like, man, what is this, bro? Like, come on, you're killing me over here. You're killing me, Smalls. So that's what your body's saying, but your taste buds are like, man, this is so. You're licking your fingers. You like, bro, give me more. Right? Let me go get it. This is how crazy I was with it. Some days for lunch, I have a double cheeseburger, extra pickles, a small fry, and a drink from McDonald's. Right? I do this at McDonald's at lunchtime. Right? And then by dinner time, some days, not all the time, some days I would double up and go, now let me go over to Burger King and let me go over there in their dollar menu and give me a double cheeseburger, extra pickle, small fry, get an extra slice of cheese on it too. Right? For $1. Yeah, give it to me. Right?
Not knowing what that is really doing for your bodies.
Not knowing what that was doing to my body.
Yeah.
I just know that my taste buds were like yummy.
Not knowing the damages, that down the line, like 10 years or 15 years down the line, something shows up and manifests in your body. And then you asking yourself, how did this happen? The cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, someone who might be looking and you're talking about all the fun stuff, the things you have done before and moving to a level of transformation. Describe for us, like, I know you talk about diet and stuff like that, something simple that we can use on a daily basis that to make a small start. Because people might say, oh, I don't understand plan. I eating my meat, I love it, whatever it is that they've been indulging in all the time and having great satisfaction because that is what they like. How can we make a small shift and a small change on a daily basis, just to start with, just to get accustomed, and describe that for us and what does it look like?
Thanks for asking that. This is what I say. You got to reprogram your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, meaning that, like I said before, everything that you think about, you will become. Right. So if you think about something so deep to your core, right, your subconscious mind, and guess what? That's what you're going to become. So you have to literally get in there. And this is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I did. I write down, we talked about earlier, 5 good reasons. Right? 5, and I'll add on to that. So 5 good reasons as to why you'll never give up. Right. And then the next thing is write down 5 good reasons as why you deserve better health. Sorry. 5 good reasons why you deserve better health. And the next one is, why do you give me the reasons why? Why do you deserve better health?
And what was
the reason as to why you will never give up? Tell me why you'll never give up.
Can
I'm
you
excited at that.
what were your answers when you answer those questions?
My 5 good reasons. I don't. I was so focused at the time. I didn't even have any. My only reason was what my mother told me in this dream. I'm angry. Right. I get my mindset had totally shift after I find out. The more research I did, I got angry. That's when I became a rage bill. Like, oh, so you mean my mom's here for my mom? It's like my best friend was gone because of
Mm-hmm.
what was at the end of her fork. Okay.
Wow.
Right. So I started going crazy with it. That was my whole. I was focused like an ant. I didn't. That was my only focus. That's the right. I just saw I got super angry. Right. I hit the bag that much harder. Super determined.
Mm.
That was every time I think about my this is in my mindset. Not anymore. But I would think about my mother being in that coffin, and I would think, wow, my mother's gone because of a double cheeseburger or these small
Yeah.
fries, all these stuff that I'm eating.
Right.
Do I really? Is it really worth my life now? Now I'm angry. Right. My uncle passed away, cancer.
Yeah.
I'm angry.
Right.
Right. So I just became more and more determined. I had to bag that much harder. Right. So
Yeah.
that was my main reason. That was my main reason. Right. And as time goes on, and as time went on, as time goes on, now it is about my purpose. Now it's about my purpose. My why is now is about my mother's not coming back. So my now why is about my purpose on this planet.
Right.
Everybody has a purpose on this planet. You
Yes.
have Karen, you have a purpose on this planet. Joan, you have a purpose on this planet. Tommy. Tommy has a purpose on this planet. Annie has a purpose on this planet. Right? Annie said his purpose is to make you famous, right? We make you famous. That's his purpose. Right? He wants to make everybody famous. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Shout
tell us
out.
how can
So
we
yeah,
help?
so those were my whys.
Thank you for
My
sharing
purpose, now it's about my purpose. It's about my
that
purpose.
purpose.
Spreading this
So
message to the world.
you've shifted, and you shifted with good reasons, because now you want to live out your purpose, and live out your purpose. You're helping others to make a change in their life so that they can enjoy quality lifestyle being who they are. Thank you.
Absolutely. And then the last thing I would say is to journal. Right? Like I said before, journaling in the sense that at the end of the day, I want you to give yourself a not even we can make it even simpler than that. I say give you a grade, but you're gonna ask yourself, I didn't talk about the grasshopper, but for the sake of time, we'll say, I want you to give yourself a grade at the end of the day. All right. Literally, I want you to, if you really want to change, I want you to give yourself a real, because the only person you can't lie to is yourself. I want you to journal this every day. I want you to journal, hey, what did I do today? What did I do today that I felt that was productive, that I can learn from this and grow to be the 2.0 version of myself, right? And what was it that I lacked in? What was it that I lacked in? And what can I do to get better?
We like that.
What can I do to get better?
And
You journal, and then you give yourself from 0 to 10. You give yourself a number every day. You would give yourself at the top of that page. You write 7 or 8 or 9 or what. Nobody gets a 10. I don't care. Nobody gets. I don't even give myself 10. Nobody in the world gets a 10, right? Because that's excellence. We're all striving for excellence.
Yes.
Right?
yes.
You can go a 9.5. 9.5 is like the highest you can go.
Yes.
Or you will say 99.99. Nobody's 100.
Right.
Right.
Right?
No, you're right.
Nobody's 100.
Right. So tell us, how can we get your book, Plan Save My Life?
Plan Save My Life is right now. It's on Amazon. It is on Amazon, and it's sold the most. Right, so I'm officially a Amazon bestseller. Right, so I'm super excited about that, and it is on
Congratulations.
Amazon. What's that?
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that's fulfilling my purpose. So it's not about me getting the bestseller. It's all about I'm trying to touch as many people as possible.
Right.
I'm trying to get as many people. I want to reach as many people as possible. Like I told you before, I'm building an ant colony. I'm looking for other ants who have the same mindset as me. So there's ants and I believe that there's ants and there's grasshoppers in this world. Right. We can talk about the grasshopper, but the grasshopper basically just hops around through life without a plan, just jumping around, looking at the nice weather. Oh, it's sunny out, right? It's sunny in the summertime. because this is the other reason I say why ants are important. Ants are also important because they plan for the winter. They plan for the winter. In the summertime, they're working, right? But the grasshopper, and they're preparing for the winter. But the grasshopper, what does he do? He's hopping around all summer, hanging out, playing his flute, chilling, jumping around the high grass, saying it's sunny out, right? Just not a care in the world. We going out, we get some other grasshoppers, let's go hop around. And he looks at the ants like, what are you guys doing? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, why are y'all working in the summertime? It's beautiful out. What are you working for? Right. And then guess what happens in the wintertime? The grasshopper. This is a children's book, but there's two versions of it. One, the grasshopper, the ants let the grasshopper in and they help him out and he becomes, they teach him a lesson, right? But the other one, the grasshopper, he dies. The grasshopper dies in the wintertime simply because in the summertime, he was hopping around in the high grass. Not a care in the world, playing his flute. But guess what happens? He dies in the wintertime because he starved to death. And the ants have plenty to eat. The ants are chilling. We got plenty to eat because we paying for the summer. The grasshopper, he's gone. Right? Or the other version of he's gone. Or the other version is the ants let him in, right? They let him in and they're like, what dude, you didn't prepare for the summer? They're like, all right, we're gonna teach you a lesson. Come on in. So he played he played the flute for him and he realized what his talent was, just to entertain people. So while they're working and all that stuff, preparing for for next year, eating their food and chilling out, relaxing because it's the wintertime, he's keeping them entertained. So when the summer came, they say, all right, Mr. Grasshopper, you can go ahead on your way. Just learn your lesson. Next in the summertime, just prepare for the winter, okay? We taught him a lesson, right? And then now he learned his lesson. So the grasshopper next summer, he's not hopping around. He totally shifted. Like, bro, I'm not playing around in the summer. Not saying that you can't go out and play, because so here's the thing. This is what ants will do. Ants will make rest a necessity and not an objection. They make rest a necessity and not an objection. That is what human beings should do. When it comes to your health and when it comes to totally transforming your health,
right,
you should make rest, a necessity and not an objection. You can go out and have some fun with your friends, right? But at the end of the day, you still need to get back and build your ant colony.
Right.
Think like an ant. Right. So the ants that's why the ants are, like I said, the proverb says, go seek out the ways of the ants, sluggard, and be wise. If you look up the definition of human in the dictionary, it is thinker, wise man. That is the definition of human.
Wow. That's amazing. That's truly amazing. The way how you explain it to us tonight and help us to understand it's their necessary steps that we have to take and to keep in mind and be mindful of how we live life in order to live our true essential self, thrive, longevity, and attain the best. They're necessary steps that we have to take. And we can look at an example of the ant and the grasshopper.
The ant and the grasshopper.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Kelley,
And the grass, the something else I was going to say about the ant, but I forgot. But it'll come back to me. I can talk about ants forever.
Kelley, we just want to thank you for being disciplined.
Oh, yeah.
We just want to thank you for honoring those steps and believe in yourself that you can do it, because many times some of us, we start off on those steps, but we fall away. So we just want Soul Light and Body just want to honor you for those steps that you have taken to bring you to this point that you can write a book that we all can learn from. and we can able to build ourselves and live a healthy lifestyle. And we could able to make the right choices, buy the right things to eat. If we go to the supermarket, instead of you're going to choose the unhealthy stuff, look at the healthy stuff. So that's a start that we all could start doing. Look at the healthy stuff and substitute it for the unhealthy stuff. So that's a start. So when you go home and when you look around in your kitchen, you will have the healthy stuff to go to start preparing the healthy stuff for yourself. Go grab Kelley's book. There's a Kindle version for only $1. Grab it, read it, and you will able to understand plants and how it can help us in our daily living, and how we can stay healthy by choosing the right foods to eat. Kelley explained it all in the book for us. So go purchase the book. It's only $1 for the Kindle version. Purchase it, read it, and you will able to rewire the mind and start to make those steps. Kelley started to make those steps that he could sit here today and he can tell us about plants and how it changed his life. Kelley, thank you so much for joining Soul Light and Body today and helping us to understand plants in depth.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're most welcome. And to the audience, I hope you take away one thing today. And as Kelley said, write 5 good reasons you deserve better health, and write down reasons you will never quit. Join the ant colony. Yes. I really love how you explain the ant. The ants never give up. The ant just keep going because it's determination and how bad you want to change your life. How bad you want to change it. So 100%. You gotta be determined.
You gotta be
determined. You gotta be determined.
You gotta be. You gotta do it.
One determined vegan. So Kelley, thank you so much, and to the audience, thank you so much for joining us today. And as I said, I hope you take away one good piece of advice from Kelley today that you could incorporate into your life and to move forward and to live a better lifestyle, live a better health, and you could able to enjoy the rest of your life. Today could be the day that you could start that journey. Let today be the day you make that first step towards a better health. You can do it. Be determined and you can do it. Grab Kelley's book, read the book, and just know that if an ant can do it, you can do it. Be determined.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
If an ant can do it, damn it, you can do it. Come on, an ant, bro, come on. Study the ant and be wise.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Kelley, for bringing this beautiful analogy about the ant to us this afternoon, because it really helps us to really understand how we can live our lives. And it's not only for food alone. It's to tell us that if we could rewire our mind and think like an ant, we could achieve anything in our life.
Anything.
Just being determined. Yes.
That's it.
Just
nothing
being
more
determined.
than that. Nothing more than that.
So thank you so much, Kelley. And
thank
to the audience, have a wonderful weekend. And to the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes. Thank you, Kelley. Thank you so much.